What's up, y'all? It is your girl, Sarah from Sarah's Styles here. Welcome to Monday Live. I'm really excited for this Monday's live. It is going to be a live thrift haul. So everyone has brought a couple of things from their most recent thrift haul, and we're going to learn from each other and see different things that people pick up. I'm also excited because we all live in different parts of the country, right? And so it'll be interesting to kind of see the different things that we come across that other people don't necessarily come across. So this is going to be super exciting. If you guys are joining live, drop a note down in the comments and let me know who is here, and let me know what you guys have found, your favorite thrifting finds as well. Feel free to ask questions if you have them as we go through this. If you are watching in the recording, please feel free to drop your name down below. I do like connecting and just thanking you for watching this video, whether it's in the recording or live. So as we wait for people to kind of pop on, I am going to let everyone introduce themselves. And so tell us a little bit, everyone is a reseller, but tell us a little bit about like if you have a special niche that you do, what part of the country that you're in, and then anything else that you think would be helpful. And everybody does have a YouTube channel, right? I'm looking at everyone. This is the people I've had on. Everyone has a YouTube channel, and all of their information is down below. So definitely follow all of them when this video is over and learn more about them. But let's do quick intros. And I will start. Ashley, you are next to me. And then
okay.
Go around in a circle.
I'm Ashley, Everyday Style on all the channels and on Poshmark. I sell a little bit of everything, but I say it's cute and kind of weird. And I am in Austin, Texas.
Ooh, I bet you find all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah.
Keeping it weird.
Yes, for sure. All right, Victoria.
Hi, I'm Victoria, and our YouTube channel is Super Geeked. We're Super Geeked on Instagram. I actually sell a lot of vintage and vintage inspired. I try to choose for my items tonight things that weren't what you would expect me to pick, because I think my viewers would expect for me to pick ModCloth because I sell a lot of it. But I tried not to. I tried to pick some of the other things that I pick up when I'm thrifting. And I'm in the very deep South on the Gulf of Mexico, in the city's called Biloxi, Mississippi. We're right in between New Orleans and Mobile, Alabama, or Pensacola, Florida. So we're like right, on the Gulf Coast right there. So,
are you from there?
I'm from Biloxi. Yeah, I lived in Ohio for about 6 years. That's where my husband's from. But we do a lot of thrifting out of town, because even I grew up going to like punk rock shows, and like we would have to travel to go see bands play because a lot of people wouldn't play in Mississippi. They'd skip us. So I spent a lot of time in New Orleans and Pensacola and Mobile. So like we're just all kind of like a group. Like everybody in that area from New Orleans all the way to Pensacola are pretty tight knit. We, frequent each other's towns and everything like that. So.
You don't have an accent. Like I would never have guessed in talking to you that you were from the South. So I don't know.
Yeah, I heard that a lot growing up. If you go north of the interstate, though, an hour north from here, it's all twang.
I'm in Colorado and we don't really have accents. I love a good, you either, Ashley, like you don't sound like you're from Texas either.
Oh, well, I've only been here 6 years. I'm from California.
Okay, there we go. That makes
sense. I did pick up y'all. I say that now.
Yeah.
But that's all I got.
I say y'all though, and I'm from Colorado, so I don't know.
It's very inclusive. I love it. It's so inclusive. So it's my favorite.
Right. All right, Melissa. Melissa's been on my channel a few times, so if you guys have seen her before, Melissa from Vandy's Closet. For those of you who have not, Melissa, if you want to introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Vandy's Closet pretty much everywhere, and YouTube and Instagram. I tried to niche down. It didn't work out for me. I'm back to everything. And so I live in Western Washington, about 30 miles north of Seattle, and I've been here for 44 years. So
how is that possible? You're only 25.
I was born on the East Coast, and we came over here when I was 11 months old.
And so there's really good thrifting there too, right? You guys have amazing thrifting.
I love the bins, and I'm back because I figured out, thank you Denali, that if you go to the end of the day, you can kind of just walk on in and just go for an hour and a half. So I did that twice last week.
Yeah.
So
That's
excited.
why I haven't been back to the BINS since COVID happened. I wasn't a big BINS fan pre-COVID, and then COVID happened, and I was like, I'm okay. But I do have quite a few friends who do that now. They go at the end of the day and they say it's dead, and they do pretty well. But by the end of the day, I'm also dead. Like,
I don't have children, so
oh yeah,
Yeah.
So you can conserve your energy. Yeah, by like 7 to 8 o'clock or even dinner time, I'm like, I'm done. Like, we just do whatever. All right, Tiffany is new to my channel. I'm so excited to have Tiffany here. Tiffany, introduce yourself. Let us know a little bit about you.
All right. Can you guys hear me okay? First of all? All right, perfect. So my name is Tiffany. I am fairly new to the reselling game. I've been reselling less than a year. I started last summer. I am in Northwest Indiana by the Gary, right by the lake. I'm about 45 minutes from Chicago. As far as niche, I don't really do a lot of clothes, so I know I'm kind of opposite of a lot of you guys. I have never been to the Goodwill bins. I do want to go. I do have one near me, but I was told don't go on the weekends, and I have my daughter. She's only 11 months old, so I really don't want to take her there because I was also told don't take children there. So I'll get there eventually, but I do. I really am not a fan of thrift stores. The ones near me, I mean, that's not true. I am a fan of them, but the ones near me are really expensive. So, and I do more hard goods. So I will do like liquidation or the Amazon bins. Have you guys ever been to any of the Amazon site bins? Do you have any near you? So I do like to go there as well. Say that again?
We have one that just opened.
Yeah,
like
ours. I found out about it from a Facebook group because they're really hard to like search for. And so they have their own issues, but I go when I can, and I find some good stuff. So
we have one that just opened up around us. I only like to drive like 15 minutes. Like have my little circle.
Same.
And I'm fortunate in Colorado. Like I could walk to 3 thrift stores from my house, right? Like I can live in that bubble. But we did have one open up. It's probably about a half hour, 45 minutes from me that I've been debating going to. So share all your tips and tricks and we'll see. Someone is asking, Christine is asking Tiffany if you sell hard goods then, since you don't do too much clothing. Is that what you're?
yes, primarily hard goods. I'd say if I had to give any type of niche, I would say health and beauty, makeup, cosmetic. Well, that's the same thing, like supplements, lotions, hair goods, all that type of stuff. But I will dabble in a little bit of anything. I mean, I do sell some clothes, but like I don't like to do clothes because there's a lot of work into it and I don't have a lot of time with the baby. So I feel like the hard goods is just easier for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't like storing it. Christine does a lot of hard goods too. She knows her stuff as well. Well, let me check in with the chat and just say hi to everyone who is joining us, and then we will get started and show people what we've got. And I say we, but I'm not going to share. Not because I don't want to, but I was going to go thrifting this weekend and then I didn't. So I don't have anything to share. All my stuff's put away in inventory and stuff. This is all like liquidation stuff, and I think that's just kind of boring because it's just a big box of stuff. So welcome everyone. Christine is here. Thank you for joining, Christine. Ginger Marvin. If you guys don't follow Ginger Marvin, she does like almost daily what sold videos, and she just knows all her stuff. Her and her husband sell together. Well, they film together, and she lives in Colorado. She just hit up the Denver BINS and had a great time. She's also saying that she prefers the evenings as well. The Grateful Queen. Oh, thanks for joining. She has a YouTube channel as well. So if you guys want to head on over and follow her, Forever Wonder. Thanks for joining. Oh, New Jersey. I've never really thrifted outside of Colorado. Like a lot of people travel. I've never. Do you guys do that?
Oh yeah. Not so much the last year and a half, but I used to do it a lot more.
Once I'm vaccinated, watch out.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ready. My 2 weeks is up. I'm good.
Here we go.
I still need to get a shot.
Brittany is here. If you guys don't follow Brittany, I just love Brittany.
Hey, Brittany.
Yes, her channel that she does mostly vintage, and the aesthetic of everything she does is just it's amazing. I love Brittany. So head on over and follow Brittany on YouTube and then also on Instagram if you guys don't. All right, let's get into it. I don't know if we want to just take turns or if someone wants to go first. I don't really care. Doesn't matter to me. I don't have anything, so I'm just going to ask questions for you guys. I have a
picker.
so I can pick. We can just go around in the circle to make it fair for everyone. Ashley, if you want to start.
Okay. I'm sitting on my floor because my office is a disaster, so I have everything behind me. I tried to pick out a little bit of everything that's like kind of my aesthetic and also from different places. And then some might have a little story or tip behind them. This is from just like a church thrift store. It's a like kimono robe. And I saw it from across the room and I thought it was just going to be like cheap, nasty, like some Wish stuff. But I was like, it looks cool. I'm going to go check it out. It is silk and it turns out it's vintage. And if it was like cheap, I was just going to keep it for myself. But I was doing comps on it. I'm pretty sure it's from the 70s. I need to do a little bit more research, but it is silk. And I saw some going for over $100. So I was very excited. Also kind of sad because now I don't want to keep it and I want to sell it.
So would it be, I'm going to try something and see if I can, nope, that makes me bigger. I don't want to be bigger. Okay, someone else. Wait, someone else.
It just makes you bigger.
No, it's just, I thought maybe it made the person talking.
Oh, well, no, I'm going to keep talking. Is it making me bigger? No, it's just you. It's just you.
Well, that's terrible. I don't want to be bigger. I was hoping that I can
like choose.
I thought there was a setting where you can make, like you can pick who's bigger.
I know on Zoom you can.
I'm clicking all the buttons and it's not.
Yeah.
That's all screen share.
Okay.
This is the only one, and I don't know why it just makes me. That's
really just make us all small again.
Oh, maybe you have to push. Maybe you have to swap positions with somebody.
Oh,
how do
you can drag someone's picture?
Oh, can you?
You can swap positions.
Can you
on the bottom?
Yeah, on the paid one, on the free one.
Oh, I've been really good, and then I called you Vandy because your name is there. Melissa. Okay, yes.
Melissa's also there.
Yay! Okay, this is why. Yay for teamwork. Okay, so
we got this.
Can you hold it up and show the label again?
That's hilarious.
And how do you look up comps on vintage? Because that is kind of a harder thing.
Yeah, so I just kind of went by just looking at the label. I was like, this looks old. And then I started Googling just the brand and vintage kimono, teal kimono, silk, peacocks, and just kind of different keywords. And it's beautiful. And I kind of wanted to keep it, but I cannot. I need to sell it. It's beautiful. And I saw somebody saying that that's huge on TikTok. And that's another reason why I wanted to grab it. This was a BINS find that actually someone else found and gave me. But it's Bob Mackie, Neiman Marcus.
Oh, yeah.
And I also want to try this on. I'm very obsessed with it. This is another one I need to do a little bit more research on because I'm not sure when it's from. It might be 80s, but I was obsessed with Bob Mackie as a kid, and I had one of the Bob Mackie Barbies, like the gold sequin. So like anything sequin, anything amazing, had to grab this. And this one was from the BINS, and I'm obsessed.
That's amazing. I'm wondering are you guys noticing more dresses are selling? Like last summer, no dresses were selling because obviously we weren't going anywhere.
Yeah. It's like two extremes now. So last year was all like robes, kimonos, kaftans, leggings, all of that. That's still selling for me. And like the other opposite, like sequins. I've been at home for a year. I need to go out and be extra. But like nothing nothing in between. Like no, just like regular dresses. Like this extra or I'm staying in bed.
Yeah. I'm still in the I'm staying in bed. I have a hoodie and sweatpants on.
Yeah, which
That
I mean,
pre-pandemic.
I am those extremes as well, which is why everything is like leggings or like super sparkles.
Well, that's good news because I love dresses, and dresses is always one of my top sellers. But last summer they just all went in the toilet. But I have noticed I sold quite a few fancier, sparkly. And
like prom and
prom,
prom, graduation, weddings, all that stuff. So
I posted about that on our Instagram because I sell mostly dresses.
Oh, you sold a bunch, and they were like
so many. And I have a lot of prom dresses and wedding dresses because most of them are mod cloth. And then I had picked up some boutique, had dropped off at the thrift store a bunch of like prom dresses from a couple seasons ago, and all of them I have sold. So I mean, they're going crazy.
I hope there's people just like hanging out at home in them too, even if they aren't going out. I think that people just are tired of. Some people are just tired of leggings and sweats.
I've seen some pictures on Instagram of that exact thing. You're like, I'm not going anywhere, but this is what I'm dressing as tonight.
I was trying on some of my shoes just to make sure I still like them. So I was just like walking around the house in my like fancy shoes to see if I wanted them or if I wanted to sell them.
I have this thing where if I don't wear something for a season, then I get rid of it, right? Because I'm like, I don't need this anymore. I'm not, and so I'm about to get rid of my entire closet. And my husband was like, "Hold on, like this was not a normal year." And I was like, "I know, but I haven't worn this in a year." And he's like, "You also have not gone anywhere in a year, Sarah.
Yeah.
Like, you will wear jeans again, I promise." I don't know. Why don't we split it up a little bit? We'll come back to you, Ashley.
Yeah.
More things, but just for the sake of time, to make sure we give everyone some time. And now it's mixed everyone up. We'll go to you, Victoria. Let me see if I can get you full screen now. Oh, Melissa for the win. Yes.
I want to hear Melissa snort again because
Be funny, and I will. Okay.
Yeah, she's gonna work
I
for
think
it.
Brittany might have showed up to see this dress because I told her she was talking about a sale she had on a Gunny Sacks dress. Of course, hers was the 70s, which are the ones that go for so much more. But I have to go thrifting out of town to really get higher end brands. I'm looking for items that sell for $40 and above. I talk about that in my What Sold videos. So even with, any everyday clothes, I don't sell a lot of bread and butter, but I have to travel. So last week I went to New Orleans. And I happened upon this dress, and it is a Gunny Sacks.
Oh my God, I want it. This is why we shouldn't do this. I feel like it's like home shopping, and then I like want everything.
So
on that note, if you guys do want any of this, their information is linked down below, and you can get it before.
I want that dress.
I love this because I would have worn a dress like this. This is late 80s, maybe 1990, 1991, that whole era. So I was a kid then, and we either wore dresses like this or we had bubble suits. I don't know if you all know what bubble suits are, but they're with the big puff sleeves and the puff legs. They look ridiculous. We look like I was 10 years old and I looked like I was like a toddler wearing this big thing.
I love it.
That's what this reminds me of. But I was so excited to find it. And I only paid $5 for it. So it won't go for as much as the 70s Gunny Sacks. Because I mean, it is more, you can tell it's an 80s, late 80s, early 90s style. But
can you show the label for people who don't know contacts?
So,
but the late 80s is and the early 90s is like kind of right now too.
Yeah.
It's very kind of Laura Ashley, which I also love.
Oh, the tag's in the way. Okay. That's what it looks like. So this is late 80s, early 90s Gunny Sacks label.
So it's Jessica McClintock.
Right.
And her stuff is going, I read somewhere recently too, that her stuff's going higher now too, because
when she just died.
Yeah.
So that was a fun find, but that's another, we travel all the time. I've been to the BINS in Nashville when my dad was living up there. I like to travel and source because around here, I can spend a whole day at the thrift store and find two things. So it's more fun to take a day. Like we're going to go back to New Orleans next week and load up because what's weird is New Orleans doesn't have a BINS. I don't know why. The only local one we have is in Mobile, which is an hour the other way, and it's not very big. But New Orleans has a ton of thrift stores all over. And so we don't even have time to hit all of them. We usually pick 3 and hit them. So it's always fun, and makes fun videos for YouTube.
Oh, and you're going to come to Austin.
Yes. I totally I'm going to travel and see all of you like at some point. Like I love to travel, and I got to get away from the kids. They make me crazy. So.
That's reason enough. So COB Buys is saying, but cottagecore tag, it'll still go. For those who don't do vintage and don't do, what does that mean?
So the cottagecore is like crazy. It's, these florals and, the 70s style dresses were a lot more like peasant girl looking.
Like prairie.
So it will sell. I may be able to get, $100 to $200 for it, but it's not going to go for like $3,000, $6,000, $1,000. Some of these gunny sex dresses, people have $1,200 on them. But so like the one Brittany sold, she sold, I think for $315, somewhere around that, was the 1970s. Those are going to go for more money. This will sell though, so I would get
for $100. When you said it will sell, I'm thinking like $20, like $100 to $200.
Well, most of the stuff, like I said, I'm trying to buy my dresses. I want them to go between $85 and $100, even if I get like a ModCloth brand. That's what I'm shooting for. So for me, that would be right on the mark for what I'm looking for. So you can get 100, sometimes closer to 200. I think this dress is going to go for about 100.
Okay. Why don't you share maybe one more, and then we'll move on to Melissa or Tiffany, and then we can come back around if we have time. I just want to make sure that everyone gets a chance.
I did pick up another vintage dress when we were in New Orleans. I do not usually pick up this brand, but so I'll show you the tag first. It's Ralph Lauren, and as you can see, it's like this plaid tag. Mm-hmm. So I don't usually get this brand, but it is this buffalo check dress. And it's like a slip dress, but it's got a halter top.
Okay, I want that too. Put it in my box.
So this dress is actually a late 90s dress.
Yeah. I want to wear that with my Docs. That's great.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Pair it with some Doc Martens. Yeah. This was like my senior year of high school. I'll probably get $50 for it. It's going to be one of my lower end dresses, but I'm so excited because it's just so cute. I mean,
I love it.
I'm a fan of dresses. Some people don't even like to go through the dress section, but I will break my arm to go all the way down the dress rack. That's my jam. And I get such a good return on my money. I feel like people who skip dresses don't even know, I can just sell dresses for a week, and make the money I need to make, and so I just never pass up the dresses. So it is a vintage 90s.
I think dresses are just so amazing to sell. I mean, I'm a huge fan of dresses. I was devastated last year when they just weren't selling. And so I had to really restrain myself from picking them up. And now I'm like, okay, I can buy them again. They're starting to sell again. But someone made a point to me that if you're shorter, dresses are really hard aisle to go down because they're really tall.
That's why
by the time I'm in the medium section, my arm, and I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that because I'm not tall. I'm like 5'7". But I'm like, oh yeah, that didn't faze me. But someone was like, yeah, I'm short. Like I can't.
Especially they put the racks up high. Like some like this. I'm like, I'm like 4 foot.
Yeah, and then you can't even see the brand either, right? Because it's I can see not one.
I just pull it down. I'm very aggressive when I do it.
Yeah, I'm like 5'8", but sometimes I'll wear like platform sandals, so I'm a little taller while I'm thrifting, just so I can get up to that rack.
Good idea.
Yeah, I'm tall too, so I didn't really think about that's discrimination, Melissa. So if we go thrifting together, I'm gonna hit the dresses. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I'll save you some.
That's why I kind of like the bins better because I can just do this.
Yeah.
Well, see, even at the bins, like there's always people that ask me to like reach across the other side to get something for them. They're like, "Oh, can you grab that?"
And I dive in to grab things.
They're like, "You have long arms. Can you grab that for me?" And I'm like, "Sure." And I'm just like, Spider-Man reaching across, grabbing it.
That's amazing.
I do ask people to help me.
Let's do, Tiffany, I'm going to go to you so we can break up a little bit of the clothing. If you have some non-clothing things, let me put you over there. There we go.
All right. So this I'm going to show you guys. I actually I went to the Amazon BINS store today, and today everything was $2. And I had my daughter with me, and when everything is a $2 day and I have my daughter with me, those two things, I don't really check comps on the items on there. I just kind of grab and go.
Yeah.
So this item, I like I said, I niche down and I do a lot of like health and beauty type stuff. And so I always look for supplements, anything health and beauty that's new in packaging, that isn't expired. And so I picked this up. It is just a foot cream. And I was really surprised when I got home because I know nothing about this brand. But when I got home and I checked comps, these were selling on eBay for $50.
Wow.
And so I was super hyped about that because I was like, awesome. All right, that's a pretty good return. And I mean, it weighs under a pound, so I do a lot of free shipping with my health and beauty because they're all, first class, so they go relatively cheap. So, I mean, this is going to be a really good return on investment for anybody who's got like cracked, I don't know, peeling feet.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, because I don't think any of us, and I don't know how many of my viewers have been to these Amazon type stores. So kind of walk us through how it works. Most of us have been to a Goodwill outlet bin. So is it just bins and bins of stuff and everything's the same price? Do they have it like sectioned out in different, like walk us through a little bit about what it looks like?
Okay, so I only know the one that I've been to and the ones that I've seen on Harry Tornado's channel. And I mean, I have a friend who goes to the ones near her. And so the main idea behind these type of bin stores is that it's a different price every day of the week. And usually their restock day is the highest price. My bin store that I go to, their restock days are on Fridays and everything is $15. And then on Saturdays, everything will be $6. And then it drops down to like $1.50 and everything in the bins. There are big bins, just like the Goodwill bins, and everything in there. They're mostly Amazon returns, liquidated items type stuff. But most of the items are new. Some of them are returns. And so everything's just a different price. But some stores, a lot of Amazon bin stores open at the same time. And so a lot of the places are having trouble getting their items. And there's a lot of competition that just sprang up really, really quickly. So what some of the stores have been hearing, and my store just started it like 2 weeks ago, they will pick out like higher priced items and they'll put them either at the front of the store or like in a different section. And like my stores, they're calling it the VIP section. And so they will actually individually price those items that they know people either want or can go for a higher value. Like some of the items that are found in the store's VIP section are like big boxes of diapers, car seats, that type of thing. The prices, I mean, they are better than what you find at like the actual retail stores. But for example, I have a baby still in diapers. They had a big box of diapers and they were only wanting like $7 cheaper than what I could get it at Costco for. So I passed on that, but
yeah, I mean, thrift stores are starting to do that too. Not starting. Ours have done that for a while, right?
Yeah.
So that's interesting to know. So they have, is it all hard goods or do they have clothing and stuff too? Or it's all just like health and beauty, hard goods?
It's a little bit of everything. So they have clothes. Like my store, he's got a rack in the front where he has like some hanging clothes. Then there will be like clothes in Amazon return bags that are just bagged. Then there will be like a bin where there's a bunch of clothes just thrown in a bin. I want
to go so badly. This sounds awesome.
Totally making me want to go. I was talking to a friend about it. She's like, you should go. And now I'm like, yeah, all right.
You definitely should go. I love it. My husband, he's like, every time you go, you spend over an hour or two there because there were so many, but it's like not 45. It's about a half-hour drive for me. And me and my friend, we took like a mini road trip and we went to, it was about an hour away, and we went to a different bin store that we had seen online, and it was priced differently. They don't have like all the bins is this price, where it was like their health and beauty is $3 and our all clothes was $6, but like literally half of their store was just clothes. And then the other half was like health and beauty supplement type stuff, but like almost everything there was expired as far as their supplements and stuff. So it wasn't worth the money there.
So I have one more question. I have lots of questions because I don't do any of this. So like, this is really interesting to me. Feel free to ask questions too in the chat, or if you guys on the call have questions too. So you picked out that foot cream. I'm imagining there's like bins, probably like hundreds and hundreds of things. You didn't look up a comp. How did you decide that was something that you wanted to buy?
Because just I typically know that most health and beauty items, they do pretty well on eBay as long as they're still like in box and not expired. I didn't know it would be that good, but I knew that I would at least be able to double my money at a minimum. So and the same thing with supplements.
Into it.
Say that again.
Oh, that's a good tip for someone. And when I say someone, I mean when I go to this place, I know what to do because I don't know anything about it and I would have no idea. But that's a good tip. So you don't want it to be expired, and you want it to be in the box still unused. Good tips. And then, I mean, you can look up comps, but if you can't, the nice thing too,
I mean, if it's $2 day, might be worth it. Just grabbing
it. Restock day, I did check comps because I was spending, I think at the time it was $10, but I was like, I'm spending $10 and everything. I made sure not to go with the baby so that I could check comps. So that does take a little bit longer. You just put what you want in the cart and then you go find a corner and then you check your comps because, you know, if it does go good, you know, you want to have a chance. You could always put stuff back, but you don't want somebody else to take it if it's good. So I did. I've only gone on restock day one day because it's really, really hard for me to go on restock day. You know, obviously you get the best deals, even like the Goodwill bins, if you go right when they open. And my husband works straight days, and then he's a volunteer firefighter. He's gone all the time. It's always me and the kids. So like, I'm really, if I go thrifting, if I go garage sailing, if I go to the bins, I have to have one, not two kids with me. So
yeah, I feel your pain. That's hard. And I liked the 11-month-old maybe still will stay in a carrier or in the cart.
Yeah.
But you probably only have a couple months before they want to be walking and darting everywhere. And yeah, good luck.
And then it's hard too, because when we went with my son, he would find, he's 6, almost 7, and he would find, you know, like on $6 day, these little toys that would like, I'd pay for him maybe $1.25, and he'd want them. And ordinarily I'd be like, yeah, I don't care. But no, I'm not paying $6 for it because everything in the store is $6 that day. We'll come back 3 days and you can
if it's
get
still here on dollar day, you can have it.
Right, but a 6-year-old is not getting that.
I know.
Yeah, he doesn't understand.
The nice thing too, so if you don't do hard goods or you're new to reselling too, the nice thing about doing hard goods or things that are new still in the box is on eBay you can scan. I know you guys probably know this. I'm telling this to people that are watching who maybe are new to reselling. But you can scan the barcode and it comes up. So it's something that's really cool about doing hard goods and stuff is you can look up comps a lot easier. With clothing, you know, as I think, was it Ashley telling us how she was doing comps? But you're like just typing in as many keywords as you can think of to try and find something. So hard goods, you know, you have to, there's pros and cons to everything. But that's just something I wanted to throw out there. I don't do hard goods. I just know you can do that.
Also at the bins though, with it being mostly Amazon returns, there are usually Amazon stickers over the barcodes. So you either got to peel them off or hope that they didn't place them over that.
All right. So just nix what I just said.
You can. Not all of them are Amazon. Like sometimes they'll have like Target returns and stuff like that, which obviously the Target ones don't have it. But if it is from Amazon, a lot of the items there do have like the Amazon FBA or whatever stickers, and they always put it over the barcodes.
Yeah, because they know you can do that. Is there any compliance issues on eBay with selling? Like, is there things that you have to look out for not to sell?
eBay is pretty wide open. Like I said, don't do expired. I learned from, I haven't personally had issues, but just when I was watching Lindy Glenn, because she specializes in a lot of the liquidation and health and beauty, she said that like if you're selling like a medication or something and that package is damaged, the FTC or whatever, some guideline says like you can't have damaged boxes in your images. So like if I have a multi-quantity, like I have 5 boxes of Nexium or something, you know, like I'll take a picture of like a box that's not dented, And, you know, if it's got like a slight dent in it, I'll still ship it out, but my main picture won't be if, you know, I have multi-quantity.
Oh, so you can still sell it. You just can't put the picture up.
I mean, I haven't had any issues. That's just something that I heard on, you know, another YouTubers. But, you know, to avoid any conflicts or bureaus or anything like that, I just don't post the pictures. But expired items you don't want to sell. But if you cross post, like, you can't cross post. Foot creams are a little bit, you know, skincare is a little bit different, but over-the-counter medicine, stuff like that, supplements, you can't sell on any platform pretty much other than eBay because they all have guidelines. So that doesn't make it hard when, like, I get a whole, you know, order of, you know, like the last time I went to the BINS last week, I got like my whole bag was just mostly supplements. So the only place I can sell them is eBay, but they do sell, most of them sell pretty quickly.
Yeah. And Christina, she does a lot of hard goods too. She's saying eBay will pop up a message, especially on medical items, that say to look at these rules before you list. I appreciate that they do that. And not like make you try and guess what's happening.
Yeah, I've noticed eBay's really good about like what you can and can't sell, or like even say, like, I know I tried to sell a onesie and it was like, this is a trademark term and like you can't say that, and I'm like, well, it's a, but like
Same thing with Velcro.
Yeah. There's a few things that are like that, and but I don't like that comes up and tells you. So like you said, Sarah, you're not just guessing of like, can I do this?
Yeah, or like they shut you down. Like I feel like some social media platforms just like shut you down and don't tell you what you did, that you don't know that you're shut down. Like eBay, I feel like is, here's the rules, follow them. We'll even make sure that you follow them, and just kind of pay attention. So Tiffany, why don't you show us one other thing, and then we'll get to Melissa and see if we have time to do maybe one more round.
Sure. So this guy, he's not, he's a little friend of mine. He's not new from the weekend, but he was part of, we did a $50 thrift haul and I got this guy, but I haven't listed him yet. So I'm just going to explain kind of why I picked him. So I got him from Goodwill. Like I said, I don't go to Goodwill a lot. He is a Russ Berry vintage stuffed animal. He has a little, I don't know, can you hear him jingling?
Yeah.
So he's got like a bell or something in him. And I paid probably like less than 25 cents for him. It was half price day. And I literally had no idea how much he would go for. I just knew that he looked kind of vintage. He was in good shape. He still had his tag on him. No damage. And when I got home, I was looking up comps because, again, I had kids with me that day. Didn't look up comps, just went shopping. And I wasn't able to find any sold comps. There wasn't a lot of them out there. But there is one listed on Etsy for like $135, and he's on WorthPoint. I don't know if either of you ladies have WorthPoint, but I don't, so I have no idea what he is going for on WorthPoint. So I don't really know what to list him at, but I'm thinking I might just start him as an auction, since clearly he is vintage and he might go for a decent amount.
What would you start the auction at?
You know, there wasn't any on eBay, and I would obviously auction him on eBay, so higher, maybe 75, 80.
Oh.
But I don't know, like I don't know anybody who has WorthPoint, and I feel like that, like knowing what he was listed for on WorthPoint might be helpful. But
what is WorthPoint?
Okay, so I thought maybe you guys knew what that was. So WorthPoint,
I've never heard of it.
I've heard of it.
I do. I know what it is.
It's like a website that you have to pay for like a subscription, but like vintage items, it'll tell you what they have sold for in the past. And usually, from what I know, most kind of pricier items are on there. But in order to view like the sold comps or whatever, you have to pay for a subscription.
I just use Sellhound.
Does Sellhound tell you?
On WorthPoint.
Look that up.
Well, if it's sold on Etsy or eBay, because it's like Etsy, eBay, Poshmark, all the things.
Yeah, bring it in.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Does it go like past 90 days? Because you know, like most solds on eBay don't go past 90 days.
I'm not sure.
Because WorthPoint does.
Well, I know for eBay, if you use Terapeak, it goes 3.5.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
And
We'll find it for you. Don't pay for anything else. We're cheap. We're cheap.
Oh, I'm not that cheap. I'll pay for it.
Okay, I'm cheap. I'm cheap. I'll find it
I'm
for
cheap
free.
too.
Terapeak is free. I love Terapeak and I rave about it. So I want to say that they did just put out an update. It is now free for everybody. You don't have to have a store subscription.
Ooh.
Good to know.
Which is super exciting because I do lots of videos and people are like, oh, I don't have a store subscription, and now anybody can use it. So
Sarah, you're the only reason I know what that is.
it's amazing. And they're gonna
I saw it and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, but to Melissa's point, you can go further back and you can really dig deeper into certain things if you want. And they have a lot of really cool analytics on there. Brittany is saying WorthPoint goes back for years.
Oh,
Valuable in the antiques world. So maybe she has it and you can send her. Someone else is saying Terapeak. So
Okay, well, I didn't know Terapeak was free, and so I know what I'm
today. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm checking that when we get off of here. Me and my little Bowser. We'll see what he can go for.
So vintage, because I never pick up stuffies. My kids call them stuffies. What are they called? Plush and like the
Plush.
Yeah, my kids call them stuffies. I never do them. I always just imagine there's like lots of like bugs and stuff just going.
No.
I have a kid with me. We have to go to the Plush all the time.
Yeah, no, my kids, I'll get them stuff, but I never look for reselling. So having a tag on it, vintage sounds like is something that you look for, and then in good condition. That's kind of what you're looking
And
for.
I'll pick up like Boyd's Bears or like brands I know that can be more vintage. My mom is a craft collector and all of that, so I kind of know some brands from her.
Okay, good to know. We are now. Oh, Brittany doesn't have it. Womp womp.
I use it. I sell like mid-century modern collectibles because that's what I collect. And I use WorthPoint a lot to get information because they'll have like company information, they'll have dates and things like that. So even though you don't have a subscription, you can still kind of see some of that stuff. So, but you can't see the sold price.
Mm.
And to Veronica's point, you can just steam it. It will kill all the bugs. It'll kill.
Well, Harry Tornado tosses all his in the dryer. Like he brings some home for his dogs and he just throws it in the dryer. So I figured, hey, that works, right?
Dryer on high will kill it.
Yep.
So
I know. That's what I make. If my kids get them, I make them like be in the garage. It's mentally. I know that it does it. It's just mentally. And then they get the stuffies and I know it came from the garage sale. And I'm like, I don't want, like, it's been like a year and we've steamed it and we've cleaned it. And it's just mentally for me.
Problem.
Yes, no, I'm fully admitting it is me. Of course, do not, like, you can sell it and no one is weird like I am. You can clean it.
Oh, last time I went to the bins, we stopped somewhere after and it was cold. I literally went into the trunk, grabbed a sweatshirt and a hat that I just got from the bins. And I'm sitting there like, Ashley, like, you're not going to wash that first? Or I was like, yeah, I probably should, but I'm cold. And then the whole night they're like, you're going to get lice. You're going to have bed bugs. You're going to have that. That was months ago. I was fine.
Yeah,
I wore a
I
hat
don't have
from
a
the
problem
bins,
with clothing.
straight from the bin, and I was fine.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with clothing. I don't know why. Just like mentally, it's the stuff because it's like, I don't know. There's just more room for like, but I don't know. Let's get off this topic. Melissa, what do you have to show us?
So I went to the bins 2 times last week. And this was for my first trip. It's a coat and it's a cashmere blend. And it's actually like cashgora. And I didn't know what that meant. So I looked it up later. I felt it. I saw it made in Italy. And then when I got home, let me get the brand out because it's over here on the side somewhere. Oh, of course, I have this. Let me just open it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Here's a tag. It is
okay.
Yeah, Cinzia Rocca, made in Italy. And if it's cashmere blend made in Italy in my cart, right?
Yeah.
I looked it over like briefly. I'm like, does this have holes? No, not one hole. And even if it had a little hole, I would have still taken it, but it didn't, not at all. This sells, I think when I looked it up was like Neiman Marcus, and it's a long coat. So it's pretty long and it's fully lined. And it's like wool, cashmere, Angora. And cashgora is cashmere and Angora. I found that out.
And that makes sense.
And it's those coats sell for like, It makes sense, yeah. They sell for like $1,000 to like $1,800. I'm like, what?
Wait, the MSRP is how much, or the resale value is that much?
No, the MSRP.
Okay, I mean that's still high.
Value was that high.
I thought that was resale. I was like, oh my god.
No, but looking back on Terapeak, now the one that sold for $765 used, it was alpaca. So I'm like, okay, I can get why the alpaca one went for almost $800 used, but they go for about $300 to $450. So I put it up for $500 right now. So anyone watching, you want to buy that? Go buy it for $500. Just kidding. I don't think it'll. Since we're not on the right season, and I put up there high. I'm like, I'll sit on this Easter egg and I'll wait for it to hatch. And and towards fall and winter, maybe someone will send me $250. I'll take it. I'll be like,
yeah. I mean, I would take $250. I don't want to cut you off, but Heidi has a tip on plush too that I thought was interesting. Most of the plush I get looks like it's been sitting on that special shelf in the kids' room, not dragged around and drooled on.
Yeah.
Which it probably has a higher value if the parents are like, do not touch this, right?
Or the drooled on ones probably don't ever make it to
They just
Goodwill because they're the ones that the kids like.
Yeah. Or they toss it because it's gross.
Yeah. Oh, and then they're searching eBay looking for a similar one because their kid is having a fit.
They're done now.
Oh, that was me. What were the cats? Oh, no, I can't remember.
You were the one that posted about the cats.
No, there was a cat that had that used to purr with the big head.
Yeah, I think I commented on your post.
Oh, these are Squishmallows?
No.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Big right now.
And it made noise.
Oh, I think I had one of those.
I was riding my bike and I lost it, and I have thrown the biggest. If eBay had been around, then I'm sure my mom would have tracked down 4 of them. I wasn't a kid that threw a lot of fits, and that was the one and only fit I remember because it lasted for 4 years.
Wow.
I wanted that cat back.
Remember it. We're still talking about it.
It's a core memory, and it's so
it's
sad.
a tragic memory.
Ashley, did you post about that?
Maybe I did.
I want to know because I think I had that cat.
So many years later, she's
now
still
I
posting on
I know.
Instagram.
Now I have to figure out what that cat was and get one.
Trauma. I'm sure they have them on eBay now. I'm
sure.
Mom that's like, well, what should you have done? Maybe you should have. I'm not mean mom that my kids are going to hate and talk about me on a YouTube live, I'm sure one day. All right, Melissa, what else do you have?
This one's not quite as impressive. However, I saw this and okay, I gotta hold it up like this. Look at these. They're off center.
Yeah, it's unique.
And they're rope. It looked really cool. And it did have a hole right here, but I mended it. So you can't really tell it was on the seam. So I did call that out. It is listed, but this was sold in Zoomies, but it's not there anymore. They don't have any more of them, but they can sell for $80. They were sold for $89 originally, but some of them have sold for $80, $50 to $80. I'm like, that's pretty good. I mean, it's super soft. I'm like, as soon as I saw this, I'm like, oh, it's some hipster brand. It's going to go for some good money. I think it's hipster brands because they're great, but yeah.
Anything unique too. That's what I always keep an eye out for. Anything unique usually to sell or people are looking for it or, why don't you do you have one more to do? And then maybe we'll do
one more. Okay.
One more of everybody. We have 12 minutes. Can each person do one more in 12 minutes?
Oh, I could definitely.
Although my husband just left, so the kids we may have to end early if they get rowdy. But
this is a dress, and it has these cool pockets.
I love a dress with the pockets,
right?
And it's that is cute.
And it's a purplish brown color. It's not coming across. It's I don't know what that color is, but it's purpley brown. But the brand is Thaken's Theory. So I'm like, is that a Theory line? It is. Apparently, the Thaken is a designer somewhere in Norway. Somewhere I forgot what country, but where they're from originally. But they design stuff for Theory. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense with the Thaken's Theory. But these dresses were all over the place. There was comps from anywhere from 10. I'm like, oh, these people just they didn't know what they had, or they just got rid of it. Up to $100. Oh, and I need to say on the I didn't actually show you the brand for this one. I just realized. So let me fix that. It's Nictano, Nictano. And the coats, if you see a coat that's in good condition, get, because they're like a couple $100, like $150, $200, these coats. So, and that's just a hoodie. But yeah, these dresses can go for, the ones that are really like more lavish, like really pretty, like little pretty prints and stuff like that, they went for like $80, $150. But these ones, I think I could pull 50, at least 50 out of this dress.
Yeah, it looks kind of unique.
Yeah.
Heidi's saying the color is that word. I don't know how to say it.
Puce.
There you go.
How can you not say puce? Puce. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's right.
That's not what I was gonna say.
Right, I didn't want to go there because of the mistakes I could have made. It could have been really bad. Thank you for being on point with me, Ashley. I was gonna say, so with Theory, it is so hit or miss. Is it just me, or like I'm getting some Theory new tags in my liquidation, and that stuff's selling okay because it's like, a year old and it's great tags. But from the thrift store, I don't buy Theory that much. Am I the only one, or do you guys have better luck with it?
I send it to ThredUp.
Yeah, same.
But I should say my bin costs are really low. So I have 81 cents into that coat, 86 cents into that hoodie, and 86 cents into that dress. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the Theory,
I get it at the bins for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is why I can't go to the bins, because then I'm like, well, now I have all this stuff that I wouldn't normally buy, and then it's just a lot to deal with.
Like, look,
Case in point,
stuff on my floor over here.
Veronica say the same thing with Theory, but I think that'll probably, because that's a little bit more unique, and it seems like I notice a lot of times collaborations. Typically, if I find a collab, I will at least look up the comp. Even if I don't know who it is, that's kind of a ticker, right? All right, we have 9 minutes. Can everyone do one more really quickly in 9 minutes? Ashley,
I can.
Do it, Ashley. You can do it. You can do
go
it.
time.
Okay, this is a brand that I learned from Daniela, because I know that everybody looks for like Lululemon and that kind of athletic stuff, but this one is Shefit, and it's for like bodybuilder, CrossFit type. So this was at a thrift store that jacks up Lululemon to like retail prices, and I hate them for it. But I always look for other brands and try to learn other athletic ones. So this one's Shefit. And
is that the one that velcros up on the things?
Yeah, and then it like zips on the front. Like it's got all kinds of reinforcement things in here. It's great. And they retail for a bunch. They resell. I found this exact one, this color. It's a really pretty light pink. One new tag sold for $65, and a used one sold for $50.
Nice. It looked like it's in great condition too.
Yeah, it like, I don't think it's been worn. Like the Velcro is still like, I don't think anybody touched it. So I was really excited for this. So I'm always looking for athletic stuff. Does really well for me, but Lululemon is so jacked up. So I try to learn other brands, and that's one that I learned actually on Clubhouse from Daniela. So
Daniela and Ivy and Blush, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yes. Ivy and Blush. So she does have a YouTube channel and does hauls and stuff too. She has great knowledge as well. All right, we are on to, I'm just putting you on the spot. Here we go. Victoria.
Describe something.
So this might not be exciting to some of you, but I don't find a lot of more expensive brands. I have to travel. I got this in New Orleans. It's John Varvatos.
Yeah.
And so I think I pulled this because people who watch me know that I sell like a bunch of like feminine stuff, lots of dresses, ModCloth, vintage, whatever. But I do pick up men's sometimes. And so I just picked up this blazer. It's just a blue blazer, whatever. But I should be able to get about $100 for this style of blazer. Apparently, I did look it up in the store. I actually, a lot of times, do not look up comps because the stuff that I'm buying are things that I sell a lot of. And so I go with my gut. But brands that I don't sell a lot, I obviously had heard of John Varvatos before, and so saw it and wanted to pick it up because I am going to do a men's haul on YouTube so people can see what kind of men's stuff I do pick up. My friend Bob, who's watching, she actually requested that because she sells a lot of men's, and she was wondering, like, what do you sell that's men's? So that's why I pulled that. But I was excited to see it because like I said, I don't see higher end brands or mid-tier brands here in Mississippi. I usually have to travel for it. So I was excited to find that.
I like too that you can, I mean, this is why reselling is so amazing, is you can make money literally, like everything will sell. And if you don't find lots of really high-end brands, you can still sell more lower end brands, right?
Right.
So it's amazing that we can all, different places in the country, we can all find different things and still make this reselling gig work and make money at it. And on that note, we'll end with the hard goods because we've all talked clothing. If you watch my channel, that's what my concepts work for anyone who sells anything, but any of my hauls and brands and categories that I talk to is going to be women's clothing, shoes, and purses. So I'm interested to learn a little bit more. I always think I want to do home goods, and then I think about the storage, and yeah, maybe not. But all right, Tiffany. So tell us what else you got.
Okay, so let me ask you a question before I pick which item I'm going to do. What is your thought on liquidation? Can I show you like a really good item I got in liquidation?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So
it has to be thrifted.
I wasn't sure. So I do a lot of my sourcing, especially in the wintertime. It's super snowy up here in the wintertime. So like yard sales, I love yard sales. I do love that. But I do a lot of liquidation in the wintertime because it's just hard for me to source otherwise. And so I like to do a lot of either GM, general merchandise, or health and beauty type liquidation lots because you can search the type of lots you want, although a lot of them are like mystery type boxes and I just untied it. But so this item I paid for everything in the box, it was like a per item cost was like $2.45 or something like that. I ended up paying for this item. And you open it up, see.
Looks promising.
Super pretty. Super pretty.
At first, I thought it was chocolate.
Ooh.
That's better than
this is
chocolate.
real gold and a real diamond.
Wow.
It is half carat diamond engagement set.
Nice.
And I kind of freaked out when I got it.
That's
Because
pretty.
I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
You know, I've gotten a lot of costume jewelry in my lots. There was a lot of costume jewelry in this lot, but I pulled this one out. And if you guys have seen the Amazon, they have like descriptions on them.
Mm-hmm.
So this was on it, and I was like, okay, that's a little bit. So I ended up finding its exact item on Amazon. And it retails on Amazon for $529.
Wow.
And I took it to the jewelry store right around the corner because obviously I'm like, okay, before I sell this, I have to verify and authenticate all of that. And the jeweler offered me $250 on the spot, which I declined because I want to hold out and see if I can get a little bit more. But
I would have taken it.
I might go back because like that would have paid for my whole box, my whole order. But I'm a little afraid to like post it online because I don't want to get scammed on eBay. So I might try it locally. But what would you ladies do?
I would have sold it.
I would have taken the money from the jeweler.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I might go back. It's just right around the corner. It's a family jeweler. So, and hey, there's even a pawn shop. I could even see if the pawn shop would give me more. But I was really, really surprised because I paid like $2 for this item, and it's gonna pay for the whole box. So
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, with
and it
things
shipped to my house. I didn't have to leave my house.
That's amazing. With things that I either don't know a lot about or think I could potentially get scammed or out of money, so like I'll usually find the easiest, fastest way to get money from it and get like don't have to deal with it. So like the jeweler guys, it's like $250. I'd be like, done, out of my hands.
On Mercari, actually, I got like a $300 Dyson curling iron, and it was new or like used, but very the same company, but they make curling irons and blow dryers, and they hold their resale value. Like they can go used almost for what they go new. And it was like, I think I listed it for almost $400, like $375. And I was terrified of getting scammed on eBay. So I posted it on Mercari because I know that there's less chance of getting scammed there. But I feel weird about shipping jewelry, even though that would be cheaper than the hairdryer.
Yeah. So how would you get scammed on eBay? Because they would send you back a fake one, or because they pay for it. And once they pay for it, then you ship it. Like what?
Yeah, a lot of the scammers, especially with jewelry, they could either say it didn't come, and then, I hear horror stories.
You're
What?
protected. You're protected. As long as it tracks on eBay, you're protected.
Well, that's
And
not always true, though. Like,
and
I've heard horror stories where eBay will side with the buyer when they'll say, like, I had an instance, and it was literally only a $10 item, where the item tracked to the woman. She messaged me saying, oh, it's the wrong size. I never got it. Or it's the wrong size. I want to return it. I approved the return. She never sent it out. And then 3 days later, told her credit card company that she never got it. And her credit card company, then like eBay was like, oh, credit card company says this. And then when that happens, you're getting charged a $20 dispute fee no matter what, even though the lady had the item. She was just trying to pull a fast one on a $10 item.
Yeah, well, $10. But I mean, if you take
it to the jeweler.
Yeah. So I'm just curious on eBay because I mean, people say eBay scams, and I've never had.
It's not that often, honestly.
Yeah, no, and
it happens a lot with electronics. I've heard of, and that was another reason why I didn't want to sell the Dyson on there. Or they'll either send one back.
Yeah, I've heard that happens.
Or they will like say it doesn't work when it does.
Mm.
So with the jewelry, I was just afraid of them saying it's not real. And how would I prove to them that it was? They could put it as an item not as described, and everybody knows that you do an INAD and it's automatically.
Yes, you're in trouble. So Duncan is an eBay pro. I would trust what he says above anyone else. He definitely knows his stuff. And he's saying buyers can just charge back at their bank and the seller is fried. So that totally makes sense. I mean, with clothing, you don't really get that very often, right?
Well,
so
actually, I had a situation this week where I had sent out a dress, and the buyer, by the time that I saw my notifications from eBay, the buyer opened a return case saying that a button was broken. eBay sent me a notification to let me know. Then they sent me another notification to say that the buyer contacted their credit card company and disputed. And on the dispute, it said that they didn't get the item. And so eBay held my money, but then released it when the buyer did the chargeback or whatever with the credit card company. So eBay did give me, like, I wasn't penalized anything.
Oh, well, mine, what happened was she had the buyer return request. It was opened. I accepted it, waiting for her to ship it back. I got like 3 back-to-back notifications from eBay. The first one said it's closed because it automatically closed it because she opened a fraud charge with her bank account. But then I got another one saying, but we're holding it again because there's a chargeback. And I had the option to review it, dispute it, or whatever, but I wasn't allowed to like type in a defense. I was only allowed to submit one image to prove that my item was real or legit or something like that.
Yeah. And I think there's some people in the chat saying too that, and this is the thing with electronics, hard goods, jewelry and stuff. You can send back the broken electronics they had and keep the working one, which I have heard that my brother-in-law does a lot of stuff like this. And I've heard that he gets that all the time. When I say all the time, it's like one a month probably, and he sells a lot, but they swap out the stones and send you back the cheap ring, the next customer you send it out to. And I'd have no idea if it was fake.
That's what, like, I don't want to deal with any of that stuff.
Opportunities for that to get messed up on eBay. So I'm like, I'm not going to be out that kind of money.
Yes. And this is Heidi is saying this. I loathe PayPal, but this is one thing that PayPal is better about, I think. And I think eBay going to manage payments, they're going to have to up their game in this department. PayPal was better at defending a bank chargeback than managed payments is, but it took forever to get the funds. It did. But anytime that I've had an issue on PayPal, it takes like 30 days for them to review it.
Yeah.
But I've always gotten my money back. Poshmark it's over 500, you get Posh protected service. So if you can sell it over 500, which might be hard because it's like right there.
Yeah.
Brand new.
And I do know on Mercari, because I've seen this happen before, that if you do a chargeback for Mercari, they'll ban you as a buyer. So they stop that right away. They're like, well, then you can't buy here ever again.
Yeah. Which is good.
Yeah.
Brittany is saying, and I'm going to say this and then we can sign off unless you guys have things, but all the horror stories, Brittany, this platform, Brittany, I have never had one issue. I see a lot items today and I've never had one single issue. You're going to hear the negatives.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Well, and I too.
Yeah, I plan that into like my projections too of like damaged things, lost things, returns, things like that. And if it stays a small amount, then I'm happy. But every business does that for theft and
we don't have a
and all that.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't have yes.
It's going to happen.
It doesn't happen that often. Like,
yeah. It's more often that I come home and I miss that something was damaged and I can't return it or do anything with it. Like that happens way more often than someone trying to scam me. But that still goes into like my loss.
Right.
If you go with science and psychology, most people are honest. Most people are not scamming you. Most people are honest and will not do that. So.
Oh, what a great note to end it on. Everyone is nice and kind and we love each other. Thank you guys so much for doing this. This was as much fun as I was hoping it would be. So I hope you guys had fun watching it. I am going to try and do one of these every month and get different resellers on. I think I am so excited. I'm excited everyone was here, but I loved having a hard goods seller who did liquidation and, just kind of getting a little bits and pieces of learning from each other, different parts of the country. So if you guys did like this thrift haul and you want to come on one, send me a DM. And I will set you up on whenever I plan May to do the next one. And like and subscribe if you like content like this. My content, if this is your first time watching, is around making more money, how to use strategies, data-driven strategies to help you guys make more money in your reselling business. And all of these women have amazing YouTube content out there. So make sure to head on over and subscribe to their channels. And thank you guys again so much for coming and happy
Thank you.
Happy Friday.
Thank you.
Is it what day is it? I don't even know.
It's gonna be a long week if I'm like happy.
Is it Monday?
It's Monday.
I was going with it. I was like, yeah, sure.
Oh Lord. Yeah. All right. So it's gonna be a long week over here. Happy Monday. Have a wonderful week.
Bye.